Welcome survivors to your brand new all-in-one Quetzal base, the only flying platform base you'll need in ARK Survival Ascended. This fully functional sky house is perfect for those who want to travel in total style and comfort. Take a look inside and you'll discover a compact crafting and storage area, small but packed with everything you'll need to survive. An upstairs living quarters where you can fully rest up during your travels. And you even have your own diving hatch, so you can leap straight out of your base and parachute to the ground for quick missions or daring escapes. If you find yourself enjoying today's video, don't forget to smash that like button, comment down below what you want to see me build next, and hit subscribe. It's completely free and helps me out a ton. Now without further ado, let's dive into today's Quetzal base tutorial. Hello ladies and jelly spoons, and welcome back to a brand new building video with me, LolsAtLance. Now today we're doing something that you've all been asking for in the comments, a platform base. I've seen your requests and it's finally time to take to the skies. A base built entirely on a Quetzal. As I mentioned, this idea came straight from you, so keep those comments coming, I do read every single one. This base will also be available as a template for my tier 3 YouTube members, which means you can grab it for PC or console. Yes, console players, we found a way to give it to you as well. Now before we jump in, just a quick heads up, my first ever piece of merchandise is now live on 4th Wall. The Art of Building 2026 calendar is finally here, packed with 12 of my favourite art builds, all beautifully rendered and perfect for your wall. If you want to support the channel and grab something awesome at the same time, the link is down below. Now today we're building right here on the island. I thought it was time to return to our roots, and of course, because this is a mobile base, you can technically build and fly it absolutely anywhere. By default, ARK limits platform saddles and rafts to about 80 structures, which is ridiculously small, so just like our raft base build, we'll tweak some settings to fix that. So if you're on a server, head to your Entrada control panel or speak to your admin, open the config files, then go to Game User Settings in E, find the line that says Platform Saddle Build Area Bounds Multiplier, and change that value from 1 to 3. Also change the per platform max structures multiplier from 1 to 10. Then save and restart your server. If you're on a single player world, you can do the exact same thing, just locate your game user settings ini file inside your ARK install folder and adjust it there. Once that's done, you're all set to start crafting up your Quetzal base. Alright, well, let's just get straight into it, shall we? We're going to build on Mrs. Quetzal today. How are you doing, lovely? How are you doing? I have turned off, just so everyone knows, disable ally looking, because if you have it on, she'll look at you. Look at that. She proper crooks her neck around, and it scares me. So, I'm going to turn that off so she doesn't do that. But apart from that, I do love you, Mrs. Quetzal. Oh, you just did a turd. You just did a turd. Isn't that a lovely thing to do on camera for me? What is even your name? Subscribe! Oh, look at that. Well, she said it. That's her name, so you better do it. Okay, let's head on up, subscribe, and let's start building, shall we? So we're going to start off with our wooden foundation. Now, we're going to need to try and place this wooden foundation right as close to the edge as we can. And you'll know that when you've got too far, when you've gone too far, my words, when you've gone too far, you'll know, because it will just fall off the edge. It'll just fall off the edge like that. So we're going to make sure that it's close to the edge, and you see the right side of the foundation. We want that to be right in the middle of this section here. You see this? We want it to be right in the middle of that so that the line comes through there. So let's try and place that in now. So I'm going to place it in like... Oh, wait for it. Like this. I missed. Hang on a minute. Go back a slight bit. And I got it. Sometimes it takes a minute because the Quetzal's going to be moving up and down and all around. You can see how the Quetzal moves. It's very annoying when you're building, and it will be an absolute nightmare. I'm not going to lie to you. So, good luck with that. We're going to place in the next one. And, you know, I feel like I can get this even more in the middle. You really do want to get this in the middle if you can, because it's quite important for later. So let's try and get this dead in the middle if we can. Is that more in the middle? That is a bit more in the middle. You know, I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think as long as it's like close enough, like this is pretty good. It's not dead in the middle, but it's going to be good enough. So for the next part, we're going to be using quarter foundations behind, and we're going to do 2 quarter foundations followed by a triangle. We're then going to pick up those quarter foundations because we don't need them there. We're going to place a quarter ceiling either side of that triangle. And then we're going to place 2 quarter foundations coming off the triangle either side. So it should look like this. And then we're going to grab our quarter ceilings and we're going to do a pattern. We're going to do a triangle, then 2 quarter ceilings, then a triangle, 2 quarter ceilings, a triangle, 2 quarter ceilings, a triangle, 2 quarter ceilings, and another triangle to finish it off. And you've got yourself a beautiful circle. After this, we're going to be colliding some structures into each other. Now, if you can't collide structures into each other like this, like I'm about to do, don't panic, Flight Mechanic, because it's not completely necessary to finish this build today. This will just make it a lot neater, so we're going to be doing it. Another place where I would like to collide some structures is just here. You see, we got this little metal bit here. We are going to keep this hole here, funny enough, and I'll talk about that a bit later, but we're going to just neaten this up. So if you can't collide structures, don't worry. It just means that you're going to have this metal bit showing. But if you can, I'm going to place in a quarter ceiling here. I'm then going to remove this quarter foundation we just added in. And that will allow us to add in this quarter foundation. And then it will allow us to place in a quarter ceiling here. And remove this quarter ceiling you added in a minute ago. And then from this quarter foundation you just added in, you'll be able to do another quarter ceiling right here. And that just fills in the gap a little bit. Okay, perfect. So this is the entire platform that we're going to be using today. This is the entire foundation of the base right here. Okay, so for the walls, let's start adding in some quarter walls. We're going to do quarter walls going around the entire circle. So let's do that now. Now, you might do what I just did and place in some random ones in places, and it's hard to because, you know, it's hard not to do because the Quetzal's moving up and down like a yo-yo. It gets very frustrating, but we should be okay here. Let's place this all going in, and then we're going to place an extra one here going into this little diagonal section here, and another little diagonal section here. Very nice. And then I think I'm going to place in a double doorway right here. Lovely. Okay. Now, for the next part, wherever there's just a single place where you can place a quarter wall, you know, this bit's a double with the triangle. This is a double, and this is a single. We're going to want to flip our quarter walls around on the singles, and then go up by a further 3. And we're going to do that on each of the single bits. So if you've done it correctly, it should look something like this. All of the quarter walls going up on the single bits. And you might have noticed I just fell through the hole. So this is a bit of a, you know, it's a bit of a hazard while you're building. So do be careful if you can. In fact, it's such a hazard. Let's just temporarily add in 2 quarter ceilings going across here. And then we don't have to worry about falling. So that's good. Okay, for the gaps, we're going to be using windows. And when I say windows, I mean greenhouse walls. Now, if you don't have greenhouse walls, there's other options, such as adding in a wall, like this. Let me add in a wall. And then skinning it in the frontier glass structure skin. That is part of the Bob Tall Tales DLC. If you didn't know, it's in your cosmetics tab, and it's in these folders up here. Frontier. And then there's the frontier skin. And I will be using that, funnily enough. So let's go ahead and add these in now. And then above this, we're going to add in our quarter walls facing outwards. Fantastic. Above the double doors we added in, we are going to be placing in some quarters here. Going up by 2. Okay, fabulous. Well, we're going to be adding in a second floor to this base. Did you know? We're going this base is going to have 2 floors, believe it or not. So let's go ahead and add this in now. So wherever there's a triangle down here, let's add in a triangle above. So wherever there's a window, add in a triangle like this going around. Then we're going to add in quarter ceilings in between this. And then again, if you don't have structure collision enabled, then you won't be able to do this little hole, fill in the hole. But I will be able to fill in the hole. So I'm just going to do a quarter, 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 and a quarter like that. Fantastic. And then, of course, we need a way to get up to the second floor. So this is the entrance here. I'm thinking right here will be where we get up. So I'm going to break those 2 quarter ceilings. And I'm going to place in a ladder. And I'm going to climb up to the top. Fantastic. Okay, so now we're going to do the roof. So wherever there's a triangle down here, we're going to add in a triangle roof above. We're going to be using triangle roofs and quarter roofs here. So triangle roof here, triangle roof here, 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 and here. Now you're going to grab your wooden roof and you're going to switch it over to the quarter wood roof. And you're going to place it in between these. Now, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky where the Quetzal's moving up and down. I imagine, like me, you're going to be placing these in everywhere. So I recommend just, you know, going with the flow and trying to, if you get it wrong like that, just let it be and continue. You can remove them all later. There we go. I do have some random ones placed in a few places. That's okay. So again, if you don't have structure collision enabled, you'll have a nice skylight here. But if you do, then you're able to fill this in, which is what we're going to do now. So we're going to do quarter roofs again. And we're just going to place them going up, please. 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 Up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Very good. Okay. And then 4 and 5. Please. 5. Okay, we did it. Okay, let's see how this looks on the outside. Fantastic. Remove that. All right. So this is the bare bones of the base, really. This is the bare bones of the little hut that you're making. Now, for the next part, we're going to be adding an overhang for the roof. It's going to get a little tricky now because, like before, the Quetzal's moving about like crazy. And we need to add these ramps in. So we're going to grab our quarter ramps and we're going to try and place them going down. Now, if you're able to land on top of the roof, then this is probably the easiest way to do it. So from here, let's try and place these going down. And there we go. We've got a little bit of an overhang coming off the roof now, looking fabulous. All right, well, I guess we're already on to the pillar work. We're going to be doing a load of pillar work right now, so brace yourselves, everyone. Grab your wooden pillars and let's get to work. We're going to be placing in pillars going up each of the corners of the hut. Now, it's a little bit tricky to get it in the right place. Like, even here, it might be easier to do it from the inside. It is easier to do it from the inside. So we're going to do it from here. And then again, we'll do it from here, going up. And it is a little bit tricky, but you should find the snap point to get it on top of this pillar. And it's usually, if you look at this pillar, you'll find the snap point. Although I cannot find the snap. I can't find the snap point. Try for the outside. If the inside doesn't work, would it work from here? Maybe. There it is. Okay, let me delete that one. And try that again. Okay, you're going to have to do it from the inside and the outside a little bit, and you'll get there. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, I've gone ahead and added all of those in. So for the next part, we are still going to stick with the pillars, and we're going to switch them over to the wood beams, which go sideways. And we're going to go all the way around the rim of the base, like all the way around here. Fantastic. And I'd also like to do this section here. So again, with our pillars, doing this. Is that a full piece there that we need? I think it actually is. Let's do a full piece here. And over here again, 1, 2. And right there. Okay, that is all in looking fabulous. Now, I want to add a fun detail here because I really... The whole idea behind this build, guys, is that I want it to be a very realistic build in terms of... I want it to feel like this Quetzal could genuinely hold up this entire house on its back without getting too much back pain. So I was thinking, how can I do this? And the way I thought I could do this is adding more support, because right now that looks painful. Like, it's very back heavy. But if we make it look like it's some sort of backpack and that there's straps going underneath the wings, I think that would look really, really cool. So let's try and do this now. So the way I'm going to achieve this is using quarter stairs going down from this pillar and down again. We're going to add in a quarter ceiling on this stair. Now, it's going to be a little bit hard to find this stair because it's in the wing. But if we can put it out there like this, then we're going to do quarter stairs coming up. So, oopsie daisy. 1 and 2, and then remove this one. And that is a strap. Now, you are going to need to test this and make sure that it can still fly, because if it's too close to the body, it won't fly. But right now we're okay. Let's do the other one. Okay, this side is added in. Now for the moment of truth, can you still fly? Yes, you can. Fantastic. You do need to... Now, this is why it was so important earlier that we get it dead in the middle with these. Because if we didn't and one was a little bit, you know, a little bit too to the left, these straps would not work. So I'm glad that the straps are working. And I think if you wanted to make it look even more supported than this, you could even connect these ceilings up down here. I'll just make sure it can fly again. Can you fly? You can. And now it looks really, really supported, doesn't it? Doesn't that look cool? Like the Quetzal's fully in there. I like that a lot. So I'm probably going to keep that. Okay, so we're going to need a way to get up to the house, right? There's a few ways. You can either enter via the Quetzal like this. But if I have guests, then they're going to need to get up a different way. So we're going to do a ladder here. And I was thinking, actually, at the back here, rather than having a window, so we did a window here, let's change that. Let's go inside and change this now. So this is the back right here. We're going to remove this. We're going to add in a doorway. I'm going to do quarter stairs coming down like this. And then I'm going to do 2 quarter ceilings outside. Now, sometimes these quarter stairs bug a little bit, and it won't let you fully up. You're going to have to do a little jump, which is annoying, but that's okay. And then I'm going to use not wood railing, but thatch railing. Because why? Because thatch railing is superior. That's why. We're going to use 2 quarter railings there and 1 quarter railing here. And then add a little ladder going down. In fact, we're going to need 2 ladders, aren't we? Let me do 2 ladders and remove this one. And if we're lucky, we should just be able to come up to it and climb it. Look at this. Straight up, and I'm in. Beautiful. Okay, so this beautiful little balcony here, I think I want to do the same thing for plant boxes going around the build as a detail. So let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to do 2 quarter ceilings below the window, going all the way around. We are going to add quarter stairs below this as support. Fantastic. And then we're going to add in our thatch railing going around these. There we go. So there will be plants going in those later, but not right now. Not right now. We'll do that a bit later. Okay, well, for the next part of the detailing of the exterior, we're going to be adding in a little chimney. So we're at the front of the base here, and we're just going to go directly to the right of it. And then there's this quarter section of roof here. This is where we're going to be adding our chimney. So I'm going to use stone and go up by maybe 2. It might end up being 1. We'll see. We'll see how high we need to go here. Quarter ceiling. Then, quarter ceilings going down. Let's get rid of that one. And then, oh, my place. Please go in. Oh, God. Okay, I got it. I got it. First time. Did you see that? First time. First time. Easy. First time easy. And these bits, I don't know where they came from. They just appeared, you know? Okay, that's actually probably a bit too tall. Well, it depends. So I'm going to show you two things here. I'm going to show you two things. So if you don't have castlecraft structures, which is what I'm going to use in a minute, then use stone like I just did. And then on top, you can craft up a little pot if you've got the Bob Tooltails DLC, which most of you will. And then you can place it in on top of the chimney. And it looks like a little chimney stack. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Now, I am going to be using Castlecraft here. Specifically, the main Castlecraft skin along with the decor skin. Now, the decor skin is amazing because it has this beautiful chimney stack, as you can see. The only thing is I think the chimney's a little bit too tall right now. So, we're going to shorten it by 1. I'm going to go around here. Place in a ceiling. Get rid of those. Okay, this should be a little bit better now. So we're going to add in our Castlecraft skin. Going around here. And then on top, we're going to add the Castlecraft decor, which gives us the chimney stack. Look at that. Okay, just a few more details to go for the exterior, and then we can move on to the interior. So one of the details I would like to do is add in thatch railings going around the rim of the bottom of this. Fantastic. I'm also half tempted, I haven't actually tried this out yet, doing it around this part as well. Maybe. We might do that. You know, if I change my mind later, I'll change my mind later and we just get rid of it. That's okay. And then, so when we ride the Quetzal, we're going to be on the driver's seat, which is right here. I'd like to protect myself from the elements with a little bit of an awning coming over my body. So how are we going to achieve that? Well, we're going to achieve that with quarter roofing. So grab your quarter roofing. And then in between these two quarter walls you added in earlier, let's go ahead and add in a quarter roof coming down if we can. Now this is going to be a tricky stat point. And I got it. So 2 of those. Then we're going to do a quarter ramp. And then a quarter ceiling. Just like this. Then we're simply going to grab our skinny pillars. So not the big ones, but the skinny ones, which look like this. And we're going to add them coming down from the ramp if we can. There's one there. And one here. Ta-da! Now, when I drive this, I won't get wet. Look at this. I'm not going to get wet now. I've got a little awning over me. I'm quite a happy guy. Okay, now when I look at this build, it looks great, you know, it looks great, but I really feel like it could do with some contrasting colors. When I say contrasting colors, I mean we need some light against dark. So how are we going to achieve that? Well, I'm going to use the Frontier skin, which I talked about earlier. So this is the Frontier skin again, which you get in the Bob Tooltails DLC. I'm going to use that to skin the pillars. I'm going to skin all of these pillars, and we're also going to skin the roofing as well. So let's go ahead and do that now. And once you've skinned all the pillars and the roof, it should look something like this. I've just noticed I missed a bit on the chimney. That's okay. Let's move over here and talk about this awning. Now, this is the last thing I would like to do, and that is paint the awning to make it look like an awning, because right now it just looks like a roof on stilts. So let's grab a spray painter and let's paint this bad boy up. Oh, I already had one. Let's grab the color. Gore coloring, I think I want to use. I think red would be too much, so I think this was going to be great. So we're going to use gore going up here like this, and that's it. That's all you got to do. You just got to paint that like that. Doesn't this look fantastic? But the funny thing is, we're not done. We can make it look even better on the outside, and that is by using some plants. We're going to use the JVH landscaping bench. This is a mod. Or you can use the Bob Tooltails DLC plant pots. So if I type in plant pot, then you can craft up all these plant pots just like this. You can grab a shovel, and then you will be able to shovel up some bushes in the area and put them in your plant pot. For instance, this bush right here, if I shovel it, it's now added to my plant pot, and I'll be able to place this down anywhere in the plant pot. But I will be using the JVH landscaping bench, so let's go ahead and place this in. And let's craft up the JVH temperate plants, that's a good one to have, as well as the JVH hanging vines. And then I'll take my temperate plants and I'm going to find the azalea bush, and I'm going to place that in on these windows right here. There we go, the plants are added in, going around there, already feeling a lot more homely, but we can make it even more so by adding some on the roof. So the plant that I'm going to be using is the JVH Spirea or Spirea, I don't know what it's called, but we're going to place them in up the roof basically. We're just going to start placing these in across the roof. Now, really on this stage, guys, you really just want to, go with the feeling. Do whatever you kind of want to do here. I'm going to have mine kind of trail down the roof a little bit to the front and to the side, I think. And then I'm going to intersperse some azalea bushes across this as well in places. I'm also going to make some of these smaller. Something like this is what I'm thinking. Then we can use the hanging vines as well in places. Let me get the right one. Maybe this one. Turn off snapping, because that's going to get in the way otherwise. And then start to place these in some places. Now with the plants, guys, you just place them in willy-nilly. That's what I did. I placed them in kind of willy-nilly and kind of tried to do a little bit of a, like a natural path down the roof on these sides. And, it's turned out okay. I may adjust them later, but that's okay for now. Right, let's pop onto the inside and do the interior, shall we? So straight away, we need to open up this ceiling, which was there temporarily earlier. Now, I don't know if I did this already in the tutorial where I opened it up and said we need to get rid of those. I added them back in just now in case I did it by accident. But what we're going to do around this hole, this is going to be a parachute hole where we jump out like that. So what we're going to do around the hole right now is we're just going to, oopsie daisy, we're going to add in some thatch railing going around this to around about there, and just leave a little section where we can jump down. I'm gonna use some lighting called wallsap lighting to light up this downstairs area, and I'm simply gonna place a light on each of these sections here. Okay, well, let's start adding in some storage boxes and stuff down here. So I'm thinking straight away I would like to have my smithing table right here. I'd like to have my forge right here. I'm going to do partial alignment. Oh, and try and fit it in. Okay, that did not fit in properly. Let me do free placing mode. Okay, that's a bit better. And then I can place it in manually. Okay, that's nice. As long as I can still walk around it, that's all good. And then next to this, I'm thinking maybe some storage boxes. I don't want it to be too cramped in here, so let's do like one here somewhere, and one coming off from that, and then one on top. Lovely. I might just move this smithy a little bit to the left because it's like literally going into the forge right now. Okay, so that's our right side. For the left side, I want a little like seating area. I was thinking of using this JVH landscaping bench for the table, just because it's got a little flowers on top. It looks cute. Then we can do a chair either side. So one there and one here as well. Lovely. And we could do some other stuff in here. I'm not really sure what yet. But outside here where we ride the Quetzal. So we've got this, you know, we sit there to ride the Quetzal. But I was thinking if we have guests on the ship, on the base, where they're going to sit, So I'm thinking 2 fancy armchairs out here would be nice. So I'm going to do one somewhere around here and the other side as well. Followed by 2 swivel stools that are going to look like little tables next to the chairs. Okay, let's go on up to the 2nd floor and work out what we're doing up here. First of all, definitely some lights so that we can actually see what is going on up here. I've already put one in here earlier. And then definitely we need to fill in, well, go around this gap here so that we don't fall down it. Lovely. And then I think let's add in a bed. So for the bed, I'm thinking of doing a big double bed right in the middle here. And this is from the Western Decor mod. Now, all the mods I'm using today, guys, I'll put a list in the description just so you know what I'm using. I'm going to use a... maybe not this. This is Castlecraft as well. I want to use Castlecraft storage. Get like a nice chest next to the bed. Something like... maybe like that. Very nice. I'm going to use the wall and floor mod as well. This is the wall and floor decor station that comes with the wall and floor mod. I'm going to place it around here somewhere. And in here you can craft up a plethora of things, but I'm going to use the rug for the direwolf rug, which is a very nice rug. I'm going to place it underneath the beds. Beautiful. And then I'll use the Castlecraft furniture items to do some nice little details. Maybe like a wardrobe here. Might be nice. Although I think it's sticking out of the roof. Okay, we can't do that wardrobe. Let's do something. Aha! That wardrobe and maybe a nice cabinet as well. That cabinet is wonky. There we go. Okay. Something like this. Just make it a little bit homely up here. I might, you know, add a few additional little things up here. Maybe a little table with some food on it or something. We'll see. But that is the interior, you know, kind of done. We're kind of done with the interior. And I think we're kind of done with the entire base. That is the base. Now, what I'll do now, everyone, is I'm going to go away and add any little tiny things to the interior. Nothing major, just small little things to make it look a tiny bit better. And then I'll show you every single little detail during the base tour. So, guys, I'm going to go away and do all of that now. And I'll see you guys after the cinematic shots. Okay, this will be the perfect cinematic shot. Let's go! And I'm diving. Oh, yes. Perfect parachute. Hang on a minute. Did I dive where there's no land here? There's no land here. Am I going to go into the ocean? I can't do this. Make it to the rock, please. Get a gust of wind. Gust of wind, please. Push me. Push me. Well, I'm screwed now. How am I going to do the base tour like this, eh? Oh, hang on a minute. Let's cock in, go. I'm going to make it. Let's go. I did it. Hang on a minute. Mrs. Quetzal, I actually need you. Can you come back? Uh-oh. Hello, ladies and jelly spoons. We are back. I am flying high in the sky, and I am ready to give you the grand tour of the base once I stop. Should we do it in the air? Should we do the whole base tour in the air? Why not? Why not? Well, here it is, flying in the sky. Now, I didn't really add too much to the base since the tutorial, so I'll just do a general kind of base tour today. Let's talk about a few fun features on this Quetzal base. Let's start with the straps. The straps, honestly, they're my favorite thing. These straps coming down here, underneath the ring and back up over this side, making it look like it's wearing this as a backpack. That is one of my most favorite. It's such a small detail, but it's my favorite thing. I think it just makes the whole build look legit. It makes it look legit. At the back, of course, we've also got the ladder, which we can climb up when we're on the floor. We're able to get up here. Well, fine. Yes, I'm able to get up here. I was a bit worried then. And then, of course, we've got our lovely chimney stack. That is the Castlecraft structure skin that allows us to get that chimney stack. But I showed a different way to do that during the tutorial if you don't have Castlecraft installed. But yes, let's pop on inside the build, shall we? And let's do a little tour. So I'm going to open up the door, and we're met with the interior. Now, I honestly feel like I could have done a lot more of the interior. I did the most basic interior, very vanilla. Literally just a little storage zone, got a mortar and pestle, we got our refining forge and our smithy. Like the most basic of basic things in here. And obviously, if you didn't want to have the diving hatch, this diving hatch is kind of unnecessary because we've also got the door that comes out here that we can exit. Let me go out here. Why is it not letting me go out? Come on. There we go. So if I close that, we can just jump out here. I don't know why I didn't do that and then save the space for the interior, actually. So guys, honestly, I'd do that instead. I just like the idea of having a little hole in the base to dive out of. I think that's fun. So yeah, we do have the parachute jump. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Oh yeah. And a perfect jump for a perfect man. Look at this as we come down. I love that. I love that so much. I mean, when would I use that? I don't know. In case, you know, maybe I'm getting attacked by a load of wyverns. I need to jump out and go to safety, you know? So that's the hatch. I have my Bobtail Tales DLC little plant pot down here. Of course, I showed you during the tutorial how to use those. And then we got our JVH landscaping bench, which I literally use in every single build I ever do. And this allows you to craft up your own plants from all the different maps. Look, you got all the different maps here. You're able to craft up all the different versions. And then that's what I use for these bushes out here. So these are JVH, and then all of these on top of the roof are JVH. Again, you saw that during the tutorial. So if you're wondering how I did that, just go back and watch. We also have our two little seats out here. Obviously, if you've got guests, you're going to need them to sit down somewhere while you're flying. So there's two seats out here for one. And these little swivel stools I'm actually using as little table decorations, but they're also seats. You can sit on these. Can I sit on this? I can. And I can swivel. So you've technically got 4 seats out here. Okay, let's pop on upstairs and talk about what we've done up here. So the upstairs, again, there's not a lot of floor space up here, but enough to get a few things in. So I used a decoration mod called Castlecraft, and that's what I've got here. I've got a storage box here, and I've got a storage wardrobe here. We've also got some book decorations. That's all from Castlecraft. This underneath the bed, I'm not sure if I did this during the tour, but this is from Wall and Floor, one of my favorite mods to use the rugs for. And then we've got this lovely little seating area here. Again, all Castlecraft this. And honestly, you don't need all of this stuff, do you? It's like very aesthetic, but you could use this as a storage zone. You can use this as a crafting zone. You can use this as anything you want, this upstairs. You could even add in some skylights if you're using the right skins. You could probably add in some windows up here as well. But there you go, probably the shortest base tour in the history of my channel. Literally 2 rooms. 2 rooms, oopsie daisy. Let me just show you how this works as well in terms of flying the Quetzal. So we left this metal section here just so we're able to look at it and then get on board. Look at that. Very, very easy. That's how you're able to fly the Quetzal. So let's go take a landing. There's a load of old buildings. I'm on my oldest map, which is the island right now. And I've got a load of test builds all over the place where I was designing some stuff. But let's go land over here. All right, there we go. Let me just show you how this ladder works. So you can get up this ladder here very easily. Look at that. Oopsie daisy. I said very easily. There we go. Super easy. First time I did it. And then we got this ladder on the front, which is my preferred way to get up. So your guests can climb either way. Of course, because you own the Quetzal, you can just walk up to the wing and then you're on board just like that. Very, very easy as well. Okay, ladies and jelly spoons. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's base tutorial. It was a fun one. I really, really do like this base. If you did enjoy today's video, don't forget to smash that like button. Comment down below what you want to see me build next. And why not subscribe? It's completely free and helps me out a ton. And until next time, survivors, love you guys to death, and I'll see you in the next video.